Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
I'll still be weather aware for all these chances that vary across the state depending on location of rain. Eastern Panhandle, we still have that marginal to slight risk of severe weather today. Isolated to scattered damaging winds are possible with storms. Keep an eye on that potential of some wet microbursts in total over the next 5 days. We're included generally from the mountains point west in that kind of 1 to near 3-inch rainfall range with locally higher amounts total over the next 5 days. Lesser amounts of rain favored east of the mountains generally, but we'll all have that broad marginal risk of excessive rain for local flash flood potential. There have been some showers and storms this morning favoring some northern and northwest areas of the state, what the radar may look like starting back at 7 a.m. Again, we had 1 or maybe 2 flood advisories in there. Timing, again, the chances of rain will vary here in the short term, but I'm still watching off and on chances for the next 7 days. Fly saver forecast, it starts at home. Areas of Florida still watching for some threats of some heavy rain with these scattered to numerous showers and storms today. From Panhandle to Panhandle, rain and storms are likely today. Again, some heavy rain is a possibility with highs in the ranks of the low to mid 80s, and still likely generally tonight with lows near 70. Eastern Panhandle, rain and storms likely in the afternoon and tonight with that risk of an isolated to scattered severe storm, lows in the 60s. Across our northern and central areas, generally a likely chance of showers and storms, mid-80s for highs, mid to upper 60s for lows. Charleston, a slight chance of a shower and storm today, and then a chance overnight, high near 87, low near 70. Warm and muggy with some dew points in the low 70s. Our best chance of rain for the weekend, Saturday night, then Sunday afternoon, Monday, likely dry, and then back to chances of rain and storms middle of next week for Tuesday, Wednesday, and again on Thursday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Live from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour. It is Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. Nothing but your text at 1-800-765-TALK. Text 304, talk 304. Let's talk some sports. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
Welcome to a Friday afternoon. Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. And from the looks of the text line, y'all got stuff to say. 1-800-765-TALK. You can text 304-TALK-304. Spring in now. Our good friend Daniel Woods with the Weekend Sports Blitz. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing just fine. How about you?
I don't want to say it's your quiet time, because in the world of news and sports, there's never really a quiet time. But it's about to get a lot more busy, for you and the folks, because football season.
I'm counting down the weekends that I have where I can say, I don't really have a whole lot to do this weekend. And as it stands right now, because I'm going out of town in 3 weeks, I have 2 of those left.
Okay. All right. And, of course, you'll be doing West Virginia State.
Yes.
And, of course, you can catch that here in Charleston on 107.3
right. The
Beat. So who's your tag team partner this year? Has that been revealed yet?
It has not been publicly revealed yet.
Well, you can scratch Tony Romo off the list.
You can.
Okay.
You can. I would say, but I don't necessarily know that I have the approval from the powers that be to say what I will say. For you West Virginia State fans, you West Virginia State alumni, you football fans out there, particularly in the Kanawha Valley, you will be interested to know who this person is. And you might just want to tune in because of who this person is.
Okay. All right. A little tease there.
Yes.
That's the way to go there.
It's going to blow up real bad on me if it doesn't end up happening.
And
but
it ends up being, okay.
I have been assured that we're all set here.
It ends up being Carl, some guy we just found somewhere to do it, which is how we got you. But
that is true.
That's another story.
That is true. And to the point of you saying that, because you have a weird habit of using names that are relevant to situations, it is not Carl Lee.
Oh no, I didn't even think about that. No. Or Carl Lewis.
Yes.
They're both out.
Exactly.
They're both out. All right, let's talk about some college athletics as it pertains to the school in Morgantown, West Virginia University. They announced their Hall of Fame.
That's right.
Talk about that.
It's a great class.
Yeah, when I heard it, I thought it was.
It's a great class. The headliner that you're going to take away from this is John Beilein, who heck of a year for John Beilein, because he's going into WVU and Michigan's Halls of Fame this year. And I mean, he was a short stint, but it was a stint that I don't like when people say so-and-so saved the program. But West Virginia basketball was in a rough spot when John Beilein took over.
Breathed life into it.
Breathed life back into West Virginia basketball, I think is a better way to say it. Went to an Elite Eight, went to a Sweet 16. Kevin Pittsnoggle, Mike Gansey, Joe Harabear, that generation of guys. A lot of very memorable players under John Beilein. But you get past him, and there's a lot of really impressive names in this class. Your inductee for football is Dennis Folks, and I looked at the list, and I was like, why is Dennis Folks on here? Isn't he already in the Hall of Fame?
That happens a lot.
And, I mean, you're talking about a guy that had over 450 career tackles at WVU and was on Don Nehlen's first team. He was recruited by Frank Signetti and played for him in 1979, then played 3 years under Don Nehlen, was part of that first group of guys with Darryl Talley and eventually Jeff Hostetler at quarterback that were really the guys that made West Virginia football happen under Don Nehlen those first couple of years.
And let me just say, as somebody who's old, I remember well when that era of WVU football, because there hadn't been a whole lot of excitement around WVU or Marshall, for that matter. And then when Nehlen came in and the stadium opened, and it was just like I was, fifth or sixth grade or something like that when that happened. And you remember, those names like Talley and all those guys. I mean, it was an exciting time for Mountaineer football.
Yeah, and I mean, he played a big part in the Peach Bowl in '81. He was on the team that went and beat Oklahoma on the road to open the next season. Just really impressive stuff for a guy that, like I said, you look around and you think to yourself, isn't he already in the Hall of Fame? Well, he's going to go in this year, and I think it's really well-deserved. You've got three of the most impressive women's athletes in the history of the university all going in at the same time. For women's basketball, rather for women's soccer, I should say, it's only fitting, I think, that Kadisha Buchanan and Ashley Lawrence go in at the same time. They were teammates at WVU from 2013 to 2016. They're still teammates on the Canadian national team. Kadisha Buchanan won the Herman Trophy in 2016, which is the college soccer Heisman. She was the best player in the country. West Virginia went to the national championship game that year. They have both turned into two of the best women's soccer players in the world at this point and are still playing professionally, still playing for the Canadian national team. And then Bria Holmes is one of 4 2,000-point scorers in the history of WVU women's basketball, and at the time was the highest draft pick in program history. So you're talking about two of, if not the two greatest women's soccer players in program history, and one of the 5 best women's basketball players in program history, all going in at the same time, in addition to Dennis Folks and in addition to John Beilein. And there's 2 more guys in this class that are very deserving of going in, because Alex Kasich was a tremendous runner at WVU in the 70s when WVU still had men's cross country and track and field, and was not just a really great competitor at WVU, but made history after he left WVU because he helped turn running from an amateur to a professional sport because he accepted prize money from the Nike Marathon and then was banned from the New York Marathon for accepting money for his running. Well, it went to court, and the governing body for running in the United States at the time said, yeah, you can run in the New York Marathon. And that is a landmark event in the history and the professionalization of distance running in particular in the United States. And then it feels wrong that the last person that I get to is Craig Turnbull, who's just the winningest coach in the history of the WVU wrestling program and was the head coach of WVU wrestling for 35 years and coached 3 national champions with Scott Collins, Dean Morrison, and Greg Jones, who, again, you're talking about the best guys in program history wrestled for Craig Turnbull. And the WVU wrestling program with Tim Flynn is having a ton of success, unprecedented success for WVU wrestling. But none of that happens without Craig Turnbull leading that team from 1979 to 2014. So 6 really deserving Hall of Famers for WVU, and I feel like I've been talking for about 15 minutes, so please say something else.
So what happens if they have the Hall of Fame for Michigan and West Virginia on the same day?
That's a great question.
just throwing it out there.
It is a very good question. I don't know.
I mean, hopefully it won't happen. It won't happen.
Feel like you can coordinate those things, right?
I would think.
Ren Baker can make some calls.
He knows some people. All right, so we talked WVU football yesterday. I had Caridi and Brad Howe in the studio here. Had a great time. Great event last night up at the Willow Event Center here in Charleston, that fundraiser for the United Way of Central West Virginia. Lots of Mountaineer, blue and gold out there. Now there's so many different colors of blue and gold. You know? I mean, now they brought the retro stuff back and whatever.
Star City Blue.
And it was interesting because after we did the interview here, I did some work in the office, and then I went up there and hung out a little bit. Big shout out to all the folks and the folks at Swiftwater Cafe. The food was out of this world, fantastic. But I asked Tony when I had him on the show yesterday. I said and this was kind of a joke with Tony. I said, because everybody says, "How's the team going to be?" So many times he hears that in his sleep, I guess. But I said, I asked him. And a lot of people were up there, too, about the difference between year 1 under Rich Rod and year 2 under Rich Rod. So I'll ask you, all right, what's the difference in the feeling this year, as far as you know?
I just think there is a greater sense of confidence from what I have seen that they feel like they've got something good. I think there is a feeling in that building this year that you did not have at this time last year about what they have brought in. I mean, this is almost a complete roster flip again. And last year, what really happened was you had a coaching staff get in relatively late. They needed to put a team on the field. And you had 40-some seniors on that team last year because they just had to go out and get guys that were available, that had experience, that you could put on the field. And I think that showed at times. It was you went out and you were putting 22 guys on the field every week and seeing what you could do. I think this roster is a little more curated. Rich Rodriguez has been pretty open about the fact that they've put some more money into this team than they did last year. And I think you're going to see that play out on the field. Now, I'm not going to sit here right now on August 7th and tell you, West Virginia's winning 10, 11, 12 games, competing for the Big 12 championship, going to the college football playoff. I'm not going to say that by any means. But I think there is going to be a demonstrable difference in what you see on the field this year because this is a team, not to say last year's wasn't put together intentionally, but this was a team that was put together intentionally with a little more bandwidth than they had last year based on time and funds and just stability of being in the chair for a year. And I think that's a big deal. And I get the impression there is a greater sense of confidence coming out of that program that they have put something together that can be good.
I asked Tony and Brad on the show yesterday, Daniel, and also asked Greg Carey earlier this week as well. When you look at the Mountaineer football schedule, what's the one game that is the most intriguing to you? Not the one that's necessarily the rival game or the one that you think, WVU is going to blow them out or they don't have a chance in this. What's the game that's the most intriguing to Daniel Woods?
Oklahoma State.
Okay.
No question about it. That is,
if I'm correct, I think that's what Greg Carey said, too.
I believe that's your second conference game. It might be your first. It's one of your first 2 conference games. It's Oklahoma State and Iowa State. And you've got an Oklahoma State program with a first-year head coach in Eric Morris that has come over from North Texas, who coincidentally enough was replaced by Neil Brown, that has effectively tried to port over a really good group of 6 team at North Texas. And because of the transfer portal, has been able to bring a lot of the top players from that team at North Texas over to Oklahoma State with him, including Drew Mestemaker, who was the leading passer in the country last year. Oklahoma State is going to have a lot of talent. Are they going to have the talent on par with the best teams in the Big 12? I don't know, but I think it's going to be a really good benchmark for WVU because it's a team in Oklahoma State that is coming in with some hype, is coming in with very talented players, and a really hot coach right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if West Virginia can go in there against a team like Oklahoma State that is probably going to be towards the top of the middle of the pack in a lot of people's eyes, at least at that point in the season, if West Virginia wins that game, I think you feel really good about having a puncher's chance to compete with just about anybody the rest of the way.
Both Tony Caridi and Brad Howell said the Virginia game. The one
that's another good benchmark. That's another good benchmark. That's a Virginia team that had its best season in a long time last year with Tony Elliott, and they're having to replace some pieces, namely their starting quarterback in Chandler Morris, who ran out of eligibility, but I'm not necessarily sure why he's not back. I don't know that anyone runs out of eligibility these days with the way things are going. But
guys are like 53 years old.
Exactly. But Bo Perbula is going to be their starting quarterback. WVU saw him a couple years ago when he was the backup at Penn State. He spent a year at Missouri, had an up-and-down year, then got hurt. He's going to be the starter at Virginia this year. If something goes wrong with him, the backup is Eli Holstein, who was the starter the last 2 times WVU played Pitt. But that Virginia game is going to be interesting. There's a lot of question marks with that Virginia team, I think, right now. They could be very good. I think Tony Elliott's a good coach. But coming off of where they were last year, I think that's going to be a game that I'm going to watch. That's going to be a game I'm going to look at as a measuring stick for WVU. Oklahoma State maybe just edges it out a little bit for me.
What's going on in Huntington with Marshall?
There's a lot of confidence coming out of the first couple of days in Huntington, it feels like, because they just have so much back, particularly on offense. You've got Carlos Del Rio Wilson that was named the preseason Offensive Player of the Year not the MAC, goodness gracious, what is it, 2005? In the Sun Belt. Preseason Offensive Player of the Year in the Sun Belt.
Because it said MySpace was coming back. That's what it was.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Carlos Del Rio Wilson is the preseason Offensive Player of the Year in the Sun Belt. Jalen Slappy has been named to the Outland Trophy watch list as one of the best interior linemen in the country. Toby Payne has been named to the Mackey Award watch list as one of the best tight ends in the country. So that offense has a lot of experience back. They got a couple holes to fill on the offensive line. But beyond that, a lot back. Defensively, Brad Lambert is back as the defensive coordinator at Marshall. This is his 3rd stint on staff, the 2nd time he's been the DC. And interesting comments from him the other day where he talked about coming in and scheme-wise, he does not run the same things that Tony Gibson ran as a defensive coordinator at WVU and at North Carolina State. Brad Lambert's got control of that defense by all means, but he said he has kind of taken the time to go and collaborate with Tony Gibson, and when he's scheming things up, time comes around that he thinks to himself, what do I want to do in this situation? He said, I'll just go into the head coach's office and say, hey, when you were at NC State, hey, when you were at WVU, what would you have done in this situation? And they'll sit there and they'll brainstorm it and they'll come up with something. So I think that's interesting. I think it's a good place for Marshall to be in with such an experienced coaching staff, with Tony Gibson, obviously the head coach, Brad Lambert running the defense, and Rod Smith back for a second year running the offense.
You know, I was all excited to talk about football. I always am. But last night, I get home from the WVU event, and I turned on the TV, and a Hall of Fame game is on.
Yes.
And, I'm watching it even though it's Carolina and the Cardinals. Can we do something about the Cardinals and those Jed Clampett-looking long johns that they wear? I mean, good. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm a uniform purist.
Sure.
I mean, please just
it's something.
I know you're going to have multiple uniforms. Okay, I get that. I've given that up. Okay,
sure.
But I mean, these NFL, and I guess it happens in college too, that it's all one color, and especially when it's that, it's horrible. It's horrible. Speaking of uniforms, though, I want to ask you quickly, and I promise we're going to get to something else besides football, because we're running out of time. The announcement made that WVU is going to add another patch.
Yes, the jersey patch, the Antero Resources deal. Is a big deal for WVU.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just something that Ren Baker has talked about, and I agree with him. If there is an opportunity to do something like this, you need to do it because the schools you are competing with are going to be doing it. And that's the thing. And you see a lot of valuations out there for what Ohio State and Notre Dame and so are selling these jersey patches for. And what I think I will caution people on 2 things. One, WVU as a brand is not the national brand that Ohio State or Notre Dame is going to be to draw a Chase Bank or a SoFi for some of these deals. And that's okay. And I think what WVU has done with Antero Resources, a company that means something to the state of West Virginia,
bingo,
is right on the money. And then quickly, the second thing that I will say is those other deals, there's other stuff getting thrown into them, like Ren Baker said. If you see a number like, it's $10 million for Ohio State's jersey patch, it's $10 million for the jersey patch and a suite sponsorship and sponsorships on the local TV broadcast and stuff like that. So those valuations are a little iffy.
All right, Major League Baseball, big series this weekend. What are you taking a look at? I mean, any certain games?
Well, it sure would be nice if the Pittsburgh Pirates could win some baseball games, but I don't know that that's going to happen because they actually went out and did some things at the trade deadline and tried to buy, and it has not gone well. They lost 3 out of 4 against the Milwaukee Brewers. They get a very bad New York Mets team coming into Pittsburgh this weekend. It sure would be nice if they could win some games.
All right, we got to leave it there. Turn you and I loose talking about football. It'll be an all-day
thing. It becomes a problem.
All right. Daniel Woods, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. We're back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Football season begins right here on Metro News Television. Join us Thursday, August 27th for the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Presented by the Army National Guard. The Cameron Dragons battle the Clay Battelle Seabees live from Blacksville. Don't miss the first kickoff of the new season. The 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Thursday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Powered by GoMart. Only on Metro News Television.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thorold.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the show. 228 Go Mart and your favorite WVRC media stations give you the chance to win an incredible VIP experience at WVU's season opener September the 5th when the Mountaineers take on Coastal Carolina. Become a miracle maker for the upcoming Radiothon, and you're automatically registered to win. One lucky winner is going to get the chance to walk the man trip into the stadium with the team, attend a VIP tailgate party before the game, get field access before kickoff, and get 4 touchdown terrace tickets as well. It is a once-in-a-lifetime WVU experience, and you can help West Virginia's kids while getting your chance to win as well. See all the rules and details at your favorite WVRC media station websites. Go Mart, the official convenience store of WVU Athletics and WVRC Media. Let's go Mountaineers. Open line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. What's on your mind? As I always throw it out there on Friday, and you don't always listen, but that's okay. On Friday, I say, hey, if you want to do something that's going to make me laugh or smile a little bit, you could do that. Something good going on in your community, just throwing it out there. You could do that. 1-800-765-TALK, text 304, talk 304. It is Open Line West Virginia. We'll get to that at the bottom of the hour. Metro News Midday, Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. My name is Dave Allen. We are back after this. And now we'll go to the Metro News Anchor Desk.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
I'll still be weather aware for all these chances that vary across the state depending on location of rain. Eastern Panhandle, we still have that marginal to slight risk of severe weather today. Isolated to scattered damaging winds are possible with storms. Keep an eye on that potential of some wet microbursts in total over the next 5 days. We're included generally from the mountains point west in that kind of 1 to near 3-inch rainfall range with locally higher amounts total over the next 5 days. Lesser amounts of rain favored east of the mountains generally, but we'll all have that broad marginal risk of excessive rain for local flash flood potential. There have been some showers and storms this morning favoring some northern and northwest areas of the state, what the radar may look like starting back at 7 a.m. Again, we had 1 or maybe 2 flood advisories in there. Timing, again, the chances of rain will vary here in the short term, but I'm still watching off and on chances for the next 7 days. Fly Saver forecast, it starts at home. Areas of Florida still watching for some threats of some heavy rain with these scattered to numerous showers and storms today. From Panhandle to Panhandle, rain and storms are likely today. Again, some heavy rain is a possibility with highs in the ranks of the low to mid 80s, and still likely generally tonight with lows near 70. Eastern Panhandle, rain and storms likely in the afternoon and tonight with that risk of an isolated to scattered severe storm, lows in the 60s. Across our northern and central areas, generally a likely chance of showers and storms, mid-80s for highs, mid to upper 60s for lows. Charleston, a slight chance of a shower and storm today, and then a chance overnight, high near 87, low near 70. Warm and muggy with some dew points in the low 70s. Our best chance of rain for the weekend, Saturday night, then Sunday afternoon, Monday, likely dry. And then back to chances of rain and storms middle of next week for Tuesday, Wednesday, and again on Thursday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me too.
a great point.
Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for 3 Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com. You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I
think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kercheval. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line on Metro News Television.
That's movingdaywalk.org.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 away from 3 on a Friday afternoon. West Virginia's on the rise. New businesses, new opportunities, and a strong, resilient workforce leading the way. Check out the full story, WVNrich.com, a video presentation sponsored by Huntington Bank, proud to be invested in the future of West Virginia. 1-800-765-TALK. That is the phone number. You can text 304-TALK-304. It is Open Line West Virginia, and as always, as I do every Friday, I throw it out there to say, I just I don't beg you. I just say, hey, if you got something good going on, something to put a smile on old Dave's face as we head into a weekend, or something putting a smile on your face, something good going on in your community, you can do it. We'll get to all the political stuff. We know you love Trump, you hate Trump, you love Morrissey, you hate Trump. We got all that. We got all that. But I'll get to those. But, something good. What's good, as they say. 1-800-765-TALK, text 304-TALK-304. Text says, well, we're not starting off on a positive note here. Text says, Morrissey's just gross. That cliche attitude that being poor is the moral equivalent of being a trashy thief of goods and services. Morrissey is the definition of fraud and abuse in government, says the texter. Hey, Dave. Hello. Did you see, says the texter, the clip where Don Lemon was trailing Shelley Moore Capito and asked her about the double standard that Republicans have about sex abusers, and she refused to answer? It is typical. I did. I saw that. I saw that. Let me just say, I saw a clip online of Senator Capito walking and being, and someone yelling a question at her. But that was the extent of it. 1-800-765-TALK or text 304-TALK-304. Okay, that one wasn't for me. Text says, happy beach blanket bingo day. Well, to you too, to those who support or celebrate, I should say. Text says, unfounded accusations about how people spend their money shows the governor is using the Trump playbook. Hey, Pat, go walk a mile in their shoes before you criticize them. Better yet, just take a walk back to New Jersey. I'm not going to say the last part, but okay. Text, I'm going to push back hard on you all saying there's not fraud with the voucher system. Of course there is. Kudos to Governor Morrissey for calling it out. I don't think, I can't speak for the others on the network. I don't think that we said that there's not fraud. There's fraud in every aspect of life, okay? But what I would say is that you got to have proof, in my opinion. And we just keep hearing these stories, and we've had text to the show, and Talk Line boys have had it too, where, people have said, yeah, I go and get the money out of this. I get the cash because effective 2022, you can do that. But I use it because I don't want to stand in line of stores. I use it on Amazon. I use it to go to thrift stores and things of that nature. Now, the accusations is that parents, grandparents, or whomever are using it for, as the governor said, beer and cigarettes. Okay, maybe some are. I think the bottom line is that if you put a statement out there, we just got to prove it. We got to prove it. 1-800-765-TALK, text 304-TALK-304. Text said, must have killed a Marshall guy. They have to interview Tony Caridi and Brad Howell yesterday. LOL, kidding, Dave. I know, too, like you say, you can support both. Have a good weekend. Absolutely, you can support. But that was the first time that I have ever interviewed Tony Caridi in person. I've interviewed him countless times on the radio, phone, Zoom, or whatever. And actually, as I said this on the air yesterday, that was actually the first time I've ever met Brad Howell in person. I mean, believe it or not, it is. It just never happened before. But it was a pleasure having those guys here yesterday. And glad that Tony and Brad got to take a trip to Taze Valley and go eat at Chef Paul's Bad Happy Burrito. Is relatively new. It's not that new. It's been open now 6-7 months or so. Food there is fantastic, by the way, and Tony tweeted about it. And a great event, as I said earlier when I was talking to Daniel. Great event last night at the Willow Event Center here in Charleston, the fundraiser for the United Way of Central West Virginia. Big shout-out to Margaret O'Neill and everybody who helped pull that event off. It was a packed house last night, listening to Tony and Brad, mingle with the fans and talk about the upcoming Mountaineer football season. Great event all around. I do appreciate those guys coming down a little bit early so they could go on the show with me in person. But let's be honest. They came down early so they could go to Chef Paul's place. Let's be totally honest about that. Text says, Dave, West Virginia's history is littered with people taking advantage of us. First it was coal and steel, then gas. Now it's data centers and transmission lines. Please, somebody stand up for us. Text, hey, Dave, have Morgan put Google in touch with the organizers for the 4th annual Buffalo All-Horse Parade and live auction, 5K run, walk, and catfish tournament to benefit hospice care. Here's the link. Appreciate that. I will get that to Morgan Tenney of the Development Authority. Look, I live in Putnam County. I'm very aware of this event. But that's a lot. That's a lot for a T-shirt. 4th annual Buffalo All-Horse Parade and live auction 5K run, walk, and catfish tournament. Do you just hand out T-shirts or blankets, at that point with the sponsors on it? 1-800-765-TALK, text 304-TALK 304. Text, Dave, I live in Kanawha County, and let me say I'm glad we have elected officials that aren't just rolling over for these big companies coming with their data centers and power lines, according to a texter. Okay. All right. We'll get back to those in a moment. Text says, great commentary by TJ today. Yeah, it was. And I learned something today. I learned where the phrase red herring comes from. I did not know that. And you can read it if you want the background on it. It's posted at WVMetroNews.com. It's also on our social media pages as well. I actually heard it the old-fashioned way on the radio this morning. Sat in my office at about 7:30 this morning. But I learned from Mr. Meadows where the term red herring comes from. Text, sadly, this goes back to that 4th annual Buffalo All-Horse Parade and live auction 5K run, walk, and catfish tournament benefiting hospice. Sadly, says the texter, Toyota hasn't supported the first 3 years of the event, even though their plant is literally across the street from it and the horses parade right in front of it, says the text. Well, I can't answer that. Maybe you haven't contacted the right people. I do not know. My go-to on anything in Putnam County, because she's one of my favorite people in the world and because I love to, give her things to do, contact my buddy, Ashley Alford Glantz at the Putnam County Chamber of Commerce, and tell her Dave sent you. 1-800-765-TALK, text 304-TALK 304. Text, machines not wanting to cooperate. The best part of the show, listening to the host attempt to pronounce ethnic names. So it's a texter. Hey, I'm sorry, but I'm from Logan County, and if it ain't Adkins, chances are I'm lost. 18 away from 3. Text, Google is buying the goodwill of the people. They know data centers aren't popular, so they're trying to win hearts and minds with money. Well, you could look at it that way. The way I look at it is they're coming into the communities, and they're wanting to get involved. And you can call it what you want. To me, it's good marketing. PR guy coming out of me is good marketing. Text, Trump is giving a German business $1.2 billion to not build wind turbines. I don't know how that's MAGA or America first, probably because I don't have a smooth brain like Trump lovers. Text, heard someone on the text line yesterday saying they don't like the current afternoon programming on Metro News. I love it. So much better than the other guys screaming about Trump all the time. I appreciate that. Don't want a data center, says the texter. We'll take one in Boone County. Text, what's going on with Mitch McConnell? Is he really alive? Can he attend congressional sessions? Text, what's with Trump's hair these days, Dave? Inquiring minds want to know. I don't know. We were told, says a texter, as children, that if everyone else jumps off a bridge, then you don't have to as well. WVU is jumping off a bridge with everyone else by wearing tasteless ads on their uniforms. They either look like desperate beggars or a greedy corporation. Uniforms shouldn't be ad space unless it's a youth league team getting the local business sponsorship. Well, good idea in theory as a uniform, kind of a geek and a uniform purist. I'm the guy that thinks that teams should have 2 uniforms, one white, one dark, one home, one away. That's just me. We ain't going back to 1955, though. And I am surprised that football has managed to go as long as it has without it. It's a reality. You may not like it, Texter. I don't like it. But it's a reality of the game, and it's not going to go away. You got to have money, NIL, and everything else that goes along with it. You want to compete, you got to have money, and you got a West Virginia company that's putting their resources behind it. It's going to be somebody on there, and I'm glad it's a company with a lot of West Virginia ties. 2:44. We'll take a break and come back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Football season begins right here on Metro News Television. Join us Thursday, August 27th for the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Presented by the Army National Guard. The Cameron Dragons battle the Clay Battelle Seabees live from Blacksville. Don't miss the first kickoff of the new season, the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Thursday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Powered by GoMart, only on Metro News Television.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! Insurance.
Twelve away from 3 on a Friday afternoon. It is Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. 1-800-765-TALK. Text 304 Talk 304. Metro News Television weather is on. Brian Hughes on your radio and his team of meteorologists on all of your connected screens, giving you the latest weather updates. Check it out by downloading the Metro News Television app. And there's lots of other cool programming on there as well, including State of Minds and various other stuffs on there. You can also follow Brian on social media and follow Metro News Television Weather on Facebook as well. Let's go to the phones on Open Line, West Virginia. Let's talk to Dan. You're on the show. Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, Dave, I heard your call for some good vibes going into the weekend, and I wanted to share.
Yes.
I got served divorce paperwork today. I'm packing up the house. The car has low tire pressure, and the dog left too. It may be sunny, but when it rains, it pours. Love somebody.
Thank you, Dan. Well, it's all right, then. He seems happy. He seems happy, guys, right? He seems happy about it. Appreciate it, Dan. I think. 1-800-765-TALK, text 304-TALK 304. Text says, going back to your show yesterday, I can respect that people want to have interfaith summits, but there's only one faith that's actually true, says a texter. Yesterday, in case you missed it, they do these things every quarter in Charleston where they take people from different religious faiths and they have a little roundtable discussion, and we had the folks on yesterday talking about that. So, text, hey, Dave, just a lighter tone. Tomorrow's the start of Elvis Week at Graceland. Well, there you go, right there. There is something to be happy about there. Not so happy. Text says, the disturbing, fast-spreading trend of Democratic socialists admitted they're communists doesn't scare you moderate Democrats. These people are not just communists. Most radical Islamists have told you exactly what they want to do, and they are doing it, and you people still think that Trump is a threat to the country. What is wrong with all of you, says a texter. Dave, as a cat owner, this should amuse you. I have a Great Pyrenees Antillean, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Shepherd mixed puppy who already weighs 25 pounds. One day he walks up to one of our 5 to 10 pound cats, and before you could see the cat's paw move, it was hooked in the dog's nose. Don't mess with a cat. I mean, cats will knock you out. Stupid dog. You can't, actually you can like both. It's like Marshall WV. You can like both. Dex says, sounds like Putnam County is trying to compete with Dunder Mifflin, Scranton, Meredith, Palmer, Memorial, Celebrity, Rabies, Awareness, Pro-Am, Fun Run Race for the Cure. They love me a good office reference. I do indeed. Dex says, if you're Southern Dave and Dave Wilson's Northern Dave, what does that make Dave Weekly? Well, apparently it makes him gone because I had not seen Mr. Weekly through the glass. Normally I see him coming in about 2:30 or so, lumbering in the building. So during the break, I asked Ryan, and apparently Mr. Weekly is on the vacay. He is gone. So he'll be back at some point. So yeah, I don't know who I'm going to, I guess, who's going to do my interchange here? Ryan, is that going to be you? Is there going to be Coop? I mean, when we do the, somebody's got to do it. Metro News Midday heard all over the great state of West Virginia. Great radio stations like WJLS in Beckley, our flagship here in Charleston, WCHS, WKMZ Clarksburg, WD&E in Elkins, WKLP Kaiser, WVW Logan, WEPM Martinsburg, WAJR Morgantown, WSLW White Sulphur Springs, WKKX, and WVLY in Wheeling. Text, can we please fill some potholes in this state? Another busted tire yesterday. It's getting old, says the texter. Great event last night with Tony Caridi, and great to meet you, Dave. Well, whoever you are, it's great to meet you, too, because obviously we didn't exchange phone numbers. But it was great to meet you too, sir or madam. I had a great time at the event last night. I was not a big part of it. Weekly and Murphy, Matt Guitar Murphy, of course, we're doing a hotline from up there. Coop was back here, but I did get to go out there and hang out with some folks, and got to help recruit the great Mark Martin to be on In or Out. You know, they asked me to do it, and I was like, I'm on the air like 37 hours a day. Let's get Mark Martin in there. Big shout out to Mark Martin. He stepped right in there and talked to one of the In or Outs was on Late Night Apps at Applebee's last night. Did a great job on that. Text says the only way to restore the luster to the Greenbrier is that the justices leave. All this uproar, says a texter, over a ballroom. I've actually been to events at the White House. It's needed. Had Biden or Obama done it, nothing would have been said about it. Final text of the day. Bring that data center to Putnam County. Don't listen to the naysayers. Most of us want it here. 2:53, 7 away from 3. On that, we will wrap it up after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
The conversation starts long before the game.
You want a heavy swag purchase?
Well, one of my things, I love gear from events.
Okay.
I just love. That's a thing. I gotta go get gear.
Well, you're not alone because there's a lot of people.
A lot of people. When my daughter was little and participating in karate, we'd go up to Weir and be at an event. I'm like, right, how a T-shirt we got? Let's get a T-shirt for Let's get a T-shirt.
3 guys before the game. Available on Metro News Television.
Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Hey, you heard us talking about on the show yesterday. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, you can head down to my hometown of Logan, West Virginia, down to L.A. Logan Regional Medical Center celebrating their 100th anniversary tomorrow with a big all-free. It's all-free event at the Logan Football Stadium tomorrow. It starts about 3 o'clock. Music with Landau, the Voices of Classic Soul with members of, at any given time, Temptations, Four Tops, Drifters, all those groups. Del Nora is there. Davison Brothers there. John Ellison is playing tomorrow. The Mountain Stage Band is playing. And the headliner, Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder. And the great thing about it is the concert is absolutely free. There's fireworks or stuff for the kids, and food trucks, but the concerts themselves are free. Might want to bring a lawn chair and get ready.
I've
for
seen
it.
Ricky Skaggs, man. That guy, he is a fantastic live performer.
Yes,
I
he
mean,
does.
it's been 30 years, but still, when I saw him, he was a fantastic
he
live
is not
performer.
I saw a clip. We had a pre-meeting the other day about the event because I'm going to be emceeing along with Big Brother Burke, and I tell you, he's not lost a step.
Yeah, man. When I saw him, he was amazing live, and he does a lot of things. And,
he does.
And he's incredible. He's a very good live performer.
By the way, that voice you hear, that is not Dave Weekley. I was just informed that Dave Weekley is going to be off for a few days. So, I've started doing the intro. So you get the intro now.
Let's have it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. His hidden talent is to name every solid gold dancer. It's Dale Cooper.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
How about that?
Oh, that Randy was something, wasn't he? Yeah. Actually, I can name one. There was one named Darcel.
Oh, nice job. Yeah, that's more than I would
Yeah,
actually
that's-
officially have. I did watch Solid Gold, but I don't know if I could name any
Can
of the
you name the
dancers.
different hosts of Solid Gold?
No, I don't think I can.
Dionne Warwick.
Right.
I think eventually Rick Dees may have hosted it at one point. Dionne Warwick. Marilyn McCoo hosted at one point. I think Andy Gibb may have hosted at one point. Stephanie, get on that.
Do you think Dionne Warwick was...
Stephanie thought she was done for the week looking up. Don't. It's fine. I'm just kidding.
You think she was getting anybody's palms read or anything, or telling their
Possibly.
fortunes while she was doing that? I just wondered. Might have been something like that.
What you guys got going on today?
Well, today is, you may not know, but happy hashtag International Beer Friday. It's
Okay.
International Beer Day. So not that that's a main line. We're just going to talk to Pat Strader about that coming up on our normal hashtag Beer Friday. We will also have Brad Howen, fresh off of being inside the huddle with Tony yesterday. So we're going to talk a little bit WVU sports with him. Aristotle Jones will be here with our typical Sounds Good West Virginia. Ryan, Matt, and I will play a game at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. We'll have fun today. It's going to be a fun Friday edition.
All right. That's coming up on many of the same Metro News stations. I'll be back Monday. Stephanie Polly, Ryan Nicholson, thank you guys so much. I'll see you later. Till then, have fun and love somebody.